Today we're going to take our cross-plane R1 up to the Lake Denmark area, trying to use as many of the back roads that are nice and shady this time of year. And of course, the final part of this trip is going to actually be on Lake Denmark Road, which is this is a really twisty, nice area. It's shady, it's cool on a hot day, and it passes, of course, some of the lakes in the area. And it's just a great place, whether you're cruising around on a Goldwing at 10 miles an hour or on your favorite sport bike at full speed. Now, I got up nice and early, got all the farm chores done, got the bike as pre-flighted as I could, checked all the air in the tires, got everything ready. I wanted to get up to the Lake Denmark area nice and early. It's a beautiful area to ride, and Lake Denmark Road, of course, is one of my favorites, and see how many passes I can make up and down a lake. And there's a lake up in, there's actually more than one lake up in that area that's nice for doing photo shoots. But it's just the kind of a place, it's peaceful, it's quiet, you don't run into a lot of traffic, and you almost never run into any law enforcement at all. And if you could imagine a bluer sky than that, that is blue skies in the morning, zero chance of rain. What a day this should be. And we're ready to enjoy it on our R1. At a Lake Denmark area and Lake Denmark Road, there's houses in the area, and you have to be kind of a little aware of making too much noise. But well, I've not had a problem lately anyway. But I went through with one of the louder bikes with the louder exhaust system one day, and people were throwing tomatoes at me. There are people up there. Now, once I'm up in that area, and it's right off Route 15 too, you can get to it from Route 15. There's some other nice back roads we're going to be exploring very soon on days when I have a bigger amount of time. Today I really only had 3 to 4 hours and I had to be back, so I kept it simple, but it was still a great ride. Now, Dale, Turbo Steve, and I went up in this area with the two-strokes one day, and we were around the Picatinny Arsenal. It's real nice, a lot of nice roads in there. There's only one road to avoid like the plague. It's Black Snake Road. Black Snake Road, you get on it and you go around a corner, and all of a sudden you're in some really rough, sandy dirt, and it really sneaks up on you if you're in the shade. today while I was parking the bike in the sun and shooting some pictures, I was noticing at certain angles when the sun hits this paint, it has that little reddish pearl glow to it. And I never was really able to figure out why I like this color so much. I just do. And I've got two bikes basically the same color. And to be honest, I like both of them the same. And the combination of the silver wheels and the blue paint and all of the little parts that I've added to this bike that have been painted. A lot of the stock parts, the black things around the cowling, they are a flat black. And just by having them shiny black and by having the carbon fiber parts at various parts, I think it really looks nice. Really nice. And as this day wore on, because I had limited time today, I was thinking being hot is not going to be a factor, but it wasn't long into the ride and it warmed right up. And I was looking for shade and looking for some more shady roads and just trying to stay out of the sun. But and even on a partial shade like this, I like the way the paint looks. And I'm always working on my photography skills, always. Now, Ray told me one time, and he's got a lot of motorcycles, and he's a real good racer. And he told me one time when he comes up, he wanted to take a ride on the R1 just to see what that torque was like and what that be in any gear and just whack it right up, wide open powers. And believe me, Ray, when you get up here, it's still going to be there. It's great. Now, I've been riding lately with one of the optional seat pillions, a piece behind the seat. This one has a little back support in it from when I had, there was a year that I was going to back therapy, and I tried to come up with a way to take the strain off my back. And I decided to put it on a couple of days ago, and well, a week ago. And it reminded me, this was a nice little comfortable accessory. And even though there's very low law enforcement up in this area, there's none. There's never none, that's for sure. And that Valentine, even today, I found it useful, and I found a spot that I was glad I knew ahead of time that there was some law enforcement right around the bend. I counted one day how many little carbon fiber parts I made for this bike, and I've had 13 years to make them, and including the seat, and including the covers on the muffler, the pieces inside the fairing, the headlight, what normally would be a headlight, that shell, and that part is a very difficult part to make. If that is probably the most difficult part that I've made on this motorcycle, those headlight replacements. But the real joy of this motorcycle is the power band on that R1. And that it's hard to describe to people how powerful that power band is down low, especially if you come off a bike like an R6. The power down low on this bike is just unbelievable. And I hope the next time Ray is up in this area, he brings his riding gear and we get to go out for a ride. Because Ray, I think you'll really enjoy the power output of the R1 and the way it puts the power out, not like a two-stroke. It's a lot like a much bigger MT-09, all down low. And the only thing there really isn't a lot of up in this area is some really high-speed sweepers where if you want to feather in the edge of your tires right to the edge, you can do it. You're probably not going to be able to do it on these roads. You just can't go fast enough. There's too many twisty turns, too many switchbacks. And in the case of the main roads, there's a lot of blind corners where you really can't see around the corner. But the torque of this engine and the gearing that I have on it, it's 90 miles an hour in first gear. And you can just go through these switchbacks and through these, I call them twisties, and you never even have to shift. It's just back off the gas, on the gas. And the sound from the seat of the motorcycle is just awesome. And I have the forks lowered just a little bit because I'm in these twisties constantly. And there's a Pingle lowering link on this bike. And the combination of those two with the Pirelli Angel tires seem really nice. But for me, it's a special area that I've been riding for many years, and I just love the fact when I get up in the morning and it's real early, I have had breakfast, I start planning out the route for the day, and I know I'm going to get 3 to 4 hours of good exercise, work on photography and video skills, and come home with a giant smile on my face. Now that carbon fiber part inside the scoops, there's no place on the planet I've ever seen it for sale. I got frustrated and just made my own years ago, and it was a labor of love. That part, it looks real easy to make. It looks like, oh, I could do that in a week or so. Yeah, well, when you start making it, you'll be impressed how hard it is to make. And because I've got the ergonomics of this bike, especially the bars and the seat to suit my size and height and weight and riding style, I can go on this bike the same way anybody would go on a Goldwing or on any kind of a touring bike, and yet I still have that wonderful R1 motor with all that torque at the end of the throttle. And I've had this bike since it was new. It was my dream to have some custom parts that I would have a one-of-a-kind unique R1. It took a lot of years to get it exactly the way I wanted to, and including painting the wheels. And if there ever was a labor of love, this is the definition of a labor of love. Sport bikes for sure have come a long way since 2009, but 13 years ago this was the top rated super bike of the time. And to be very honest about it, to be really honest, it is still raw power and a thrill to ride, and I just can't wait till Ray gets his hands on it and see the smile on his face. Ray, I'm looking forward to it. Now, I'm really glad I have my little humble bike collection, because from what I've been told by a lot of people, buying a bike at a dealer is very difficult now, and everybody wants super top dollar for everything. So I don't know, maybe I'm just lucky I got this stuff when I did, and it was available, and I've had it a long time. And on a long day in the saddle, that back support really is good. Now, I don't remember how many years ago I made that, but I was having back to therapy for 11 months, and that was the only way I could enjoy riding a bike, and it worked great at the time, and it still works good. And because in my humble collection I wanted one bike from every 10-year period, this satisfied that need at the time. And I think when I look back, I think I made a good choice. This was a very special bike in that time window that it was new, and it has gone on to be a really popular bike. And once again, we've made it through a whole day, without any chance of showers or anything that we didn't want to have happen. And we haven't had any issues out on the open road in a long time, knock on wood. It seems like the law enforcement people get thinner and thinner in this area all the time. And I look around and I say how lucky I am to have this area to ride. It's only about 30 miles from my house, so it's real easy to get to. But right now, even at the end of a day as good as today, it's time to turn around and see what Karen's got cooking down at the farm. Boy, this day couldn't have turned out any better. The bike ran great, the roads were nice, no problem with anything. It's just when things go right, like being on a winning team, I guess. I don't know. Never was on a winning team. Even the dogs are appreciating my R1. Good bike, 13 years, reliable as a stone, and so much fun to ride. And 13 years go by so quickly, boy, I wonder where the years went. And to me, and I look in the mirror sometime and I think, where did the years go? And I look at the bikes and I think my R1 is a brand new bike. Nah, that's 13 years old. It's only 9 years away from having historic plates. Oh, I don't know. So anyway, having these big 1000cc bikes, they are really nice. The super bikes, the really early ones, and the late ones, I need one, I need one of the real modern ones to compare it to, and the MT-09 just couldn't be any more fun. Every one of the bikes in this collection fills a niche in my life. And going out with Luciano on the two-strokes once in a while, great memories. Every one of the bikes is a lot of fun in its own way, and the friends I've made are priceless. And guys, thanks so much for watching.